All right, so today is day 19, and we've got 4 problems for our do now today. The first problem is 2n minus 3, and all of that is divided by 4, and that's equal to 26. What's the first thing we need to do in this equation? Yes, so whenever we have an entire side of an equation in a fraction, we need to get rid of that fraction. So to get rid of a fraction or division, we're going to multiply, just like he said. So we need to do that to both sides. All right. What happens with my 4s? They cancel out. And then what will I do? Yeah, 26 times 4. What is that? 104. Did everybody get this far?
Yes.
Good. We'll bring down my 2n minus 3. Okay, now we've got a whole new equation to work with. What are we going to do here?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Good.
Both sides.
Both sides. All right. What's next? Yes, 104 plus 3 is 107. And we gotta, bring everything down. 2 times n equals 107. Now what? To get rid of multiplication, we divide. And we are gonna get a decimal. So our 2's cancel, and we're left with n is equal to what? 53.5. Did everybody get that?
I didn't get that far, but I got to the second to last part.
Okay, sounds like you were on the right path though. That's good. Good. Okay, any questions about number 1? All right, let's move on to number 2. Okay, number 2 is super similar. We have 4n plus 2, and all of that is being divided by 3 equals 6. What do we need to do first? Yes, we want to get rid of this fraction, so we need to multiply by 3 on both sides. And what's going to happen? My 3's cancel. And 6 times 3 is 18, and I'm going to bring down the rest of my equation. I still have 4n plus 2 equals 18. What's next? Say that one more time. There we go. Yeah, we've got plus 2, so we got to use our inverse operations and do the opposite. Minus 2 on both sides. Our 2's are going to cancel. Now what? Yeah, 18 minus 2 is 16. I'll bring down my equal sign, and I'll bring down my 4 times n. And what's our last step?
Divide 4.
Yes. Divide by 4 on both sides. Good.
N equals 4.
Absolutely. N is equal to 16 divided by 4, which is 4. Good job, guys. Do we have any questions about number 2? Wonderful. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 and 4 are the ones where we have 2 different options for how to solve this. Do you guys prefer the dividing method or the distribution method?
I like to divide, but
That's how I like it.
We'll do both ways.
I messed up on 4.
We'll do both ways. Let's start with the division method, and then we'll show distribution. So we have 2 times 5n minus 1. To get rid of multiplication, what do we have to do? We could distribute or we could divide. So let's do our division way first, and then we'll do our distribution next. What we're going to do to get rid of this 2 is divide this whole side of the equation by 2 and do it to the other side as well. Good. So my 2's are going to cancel. And 23 divided by 2,
11.5.
we should get 11.5 equals, we still have 5n minus 1.
So then do plus 1
Awesome.
on both sides.
Plus 1 on both sides. My 1's will cancel.
Yep.
And I should get 5 times n equals 12.5. And what's our last step?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5 on both sides. Good. So our 5's cancel, and we will get n is equal to 3.5? 2.5. Good. Awesome. Okay, let's do the distribution method just so we can see both ways. So I will rewrite my problem and we'll do it right beside it. So I have 2 times 5n minus 1 equals 23. And I see that I have a number besides something in parentheses, so we are going to distribute. We'll take 2 times 5n and 2 times 1. So what is 2 times 5n?
10.
Good, 10n. We'll bring down that minus. And what's 2 times 1? 2. We'll bring down our equals 23. All right, what's our next step here?
Add 2.
Yes, add 2. We want to get rid of all that. All right, so that is going to leave us with 10n is equal to 23 plus 2, which is 25. All right, we're at the last step.
Divide.
Yes,
Divide 10.
divide by 10 on both sides. And when you do that, you will get n equals, same thing, 2.5. So either method works perfectly fine, just whatever you're more comfortable with. All right, do we have any questions about number 3? Let's try 4. Okay, number 4, I've got 6 times 3n plus 2 is equal to 24. Do we want to do our distribution first or our division first? We don't care? We don't care?
Distribution.
All right, how about this? We'll just keep it consistent and do our division here, and then we'll show the distribution next. So if I'm trying to get rid of this times 6, I'm going to take all this divided by 6 on both sides. My 6's will cancel. So I'm going to have 3n plus 2 left on this side. And what's 24 divided by 6? 4. Good. All right, what do I have left to do? Minus 2 on both sides. So I'm left with 3 times n equals 2. And good, last step, divide by 3. And that's going to leave us with n equals, you could keep it as a fraction.
0.6.
Yeah. So we could have 2/3 or 0.6. Or if you prefer rounding, you could do 0.7.
Okay.
I will accept any of these answers. They're all correct. All of them are correct. All right, let's look at the distribution way. So we have a reference here. I've got 6 times 3n plus 2 equals 24. All right, first step before distributing. What do we do?
6 times 3.
Yes, we'll do 6 times 3n, which is
18.
18n. Good. Bring down the plus. And what's 6 times 2?
12.
12. Equals 24. Good. Now what?
Subtract 12.
Yes, ma'am. Subtract 12 on both sides. And now what?
Then
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do 18n equals 24 minus 12 is 12. Last step, what do we do? Divide on both sides. And we are going to get the same thing. N equals either 0.6 or 0.7, or if you wanted to do a fraction, it could be 2/3. All right. Any questions about number 4? Okay. All right, guys. Here's what we're doing today. This is the last type of equation we're going to learn about. I promise. Okay. Today, we are going to talk about what we would do if I had an equation like this. In this equation, I have variables on both sides of the equal sign. We are used to just having it on one side. So this is a different scenario. I know, it looks a little scary, but I promise you it's not so bad. Just like all the others. So, yes. Yes. Here, let's work this one out together. I'm going to guide you through the first one, give you an example, and then we're going to do the rest of them together. So my equation here is 6n minus 4 is equal to -3 plus 8n. So there's a lot of different things we could do first. We actually have 4 different options. We got a lot. Any of them are going to work. So first, why don't we just do what we're used to? Let's just do what we're used to. When you look at this equation, what's your first instinct to do first?
Put the 6 in and 8 in together.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Guys, that's so smart that you're already noticing that. We have terms that have variables that are the same. Do you guys remember what we called those? Like terms, yes. When you have numbers that have the same variable, we can put them together. We can put them together. So we have a couple of options here. We could just treat them like they're not multiplication problems yet. We want to put them together before we separate them. So one thing we could do is we could subtract 6n and do it on both sides.
Okay.
So let's try that. 6n is gone over here. And I'm going to bring down what I have left. I've got -4 equals -3 plus, what's 8 minus 6? 2. So now I have -4 equals -3 plus 2n. Now,
So we don't have to bring, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
we don't have to bring the n down at the beginning?
No, we got rid of it.
Okay.
Yes. So what we did here is we had a positive 6n. So we just subtracted that. Now, the only reason we did it this way this time is because we have variables on both sides. If you already have it just on one side, you can do your addition first and then do your division and all that. But if we have variables on both sides, we need to get them together before we can separate them. So now we have -4 equals -3 plus 2n. What do you think we could do here?
+4.
We could. Let's see what happens. +4 on both sides. Where else am I putting +4?
On the other side of the equal, so in the 3.
Yeah, let's try that. +4. Okay, so let's bring down what I have. I still have equals. What's -4 plus 4?
+4.
Cancel out.
Oh, they would cancel out actually. So if these cancel out, the reason they cancel is because -4 plus 4 is 0. But we can't leave nothing on the other side of the equal sign, so I'm going to put a 0 there.
You got
Now I have -3 plus 4. What's that?
that'd be +1.
Uh-huh. So now I have 1 plus 2n. Uh-oh, I've got a problem, guys. What can I do from here?
You gonna divide?
Divide.
Well, I can't divide yet. I still have addition.
Plus. So you're
Yeah.
gonna subtract one on each side.
You're going to have to do that, yeah. Let's take away one. Okay, our ones cancel. Now I've got negative 1 equals 2n. Now what?
And go down first. Oh, yeah, negative one on divided.
Yeah, now we could get rid of the 2 by dividing. Okay, that's going to cancel, and we're going to get n equals negative 1/2, or negative 0.5. Yeah, so let me show you something real quick. Whenever we were at this step, I didn't want to stop you. I wanted you to, yes, there is an easier way. There's a much easier way, guys.
Okay.
So first of all, we had, I'm going to rewrite this step here. We had negative 4 equals negative 3 plus 2n. This is what we had. And then you guys decided, let's add 4 to both sides. So let's think about what that's going to do. Our goal is to have all our variables on one side and all our non-variables on the other side,
Okay.
so that we can eventually get n equals something.
Yeah.
So if I already have a variable over here, is it going to help to also bring the non-variable with it?
No.
Or is it going to be more productive to take this
Yeah.
3 over there?
Put it over there.
Yeah, it's going to make a little
I
more
thought about
sense.
that, but I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe that might be wrong.
And you know what? That's exactly why we had to subtract 1 again, because we moved it over there, but then we had to move it back.
Right.
So that's what happened there. So let's try this the shorter way.
Negative 7.
Yeah. So let's get rid of negative 3. What would I do?
Add those together.
Add 3 to both sides. My 3's cancel. What is...
But I was thinking from left to right.
Yeah, that's all right. What's negative 4 plus 3?
1.
Almost.
Negative 1.
Negative 1 equals 2n. And look, we got the same thing as we had here. Negative 1 equals 2n. We just skipped this step.
Yeah.
We just didn't have to do this. So now we're here and we can do exactly what we did before. We would divide by 2 on both sides, and we'd get n equals negative 1/2, or negative 0.5. Okay. Let's do another one. And don't get too stressed yet. I promise it's going to get simpler the more we do it. There's a very simple kind of format to the way we do it.
I see.
So, here's what we're going to do now. Wait, does anybody need this?
Yeah.
I'll leave it for a second. I'll leave it before I move.
Alright.
Here, I'm going to pause it so...
I got it wrote down there.
Oh, it's all right. Okay, so for number 2, let me give you kind of a different framework here. I don't know if framework's the right word, but I want to give you a different mindset towards this. So, really, whenever we're solving an equation, remember our goal is to get that variable by itself. We want n to be by itself.
Yeah.
But before we can do that, we know that our end goal as well is to have our equal sign, and you're going to have all your numbers with variables on one side and all your numbers without variables on the other side. It doesn't matter which side you choose.
Yeah.
It's just we need to get either negative 2 over here and 7 over here, or we could bring 8n over here and negative 8 over here.
So can we do the 7?
Let's try this, yeah.
I did.
Yeah, so let's get rid of 7n and put it on this side.
Yeah.
So minus 7n, minus 7n. All right, yeah, those cancel. 7n is gone. I'm left with negative 8 equals negative 2. And then what's 8 minus 7? Yeah, it's just 1n. So I'm going to write plus n. Now we see there's no more n's over here. On the left side of the equation, there's no more n's. So that's the side that we want numbers without variables.
Plus 2 under the 8.
So we're going to do plus 2 here. Those cancel. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6 equals n. There it is, guys. That was not so bad. Not so bad. It's just getting used to it. Let's do another one like that. Let's see. How about we do 29, I don't know why I wrote that backwards. 29 plus 3n equals negative 15 plus 25n. Okay, so remember we want to either move 3n over here and negative 15 over here, or we're going to move 25 and 29. We want to get things separated.
Minus 3 under the 25.
Let's do it. Let's subtract 3n from both sides. All right. Our 3n's cancel. What is 25n minus 3n? 22n. And we've got to bring everything else down. So we still have plus negative 15 equals 29. Okay, now we have all our n's on the right side. So that means we want to get all our non-n's or all our regular numbers on the left side.
I would do plus 15.
Yeah, let's do plus 15 on both sides. All right, that's going to cancel. What is 29 plus 15? 44. So now I have 44 equals 22n. Now what do I do?
Divide.
Divide. Good. Divide by 22. And my 22's cancel. I'm left with n equals what?
22.
Oh,
11.
No, 2.
Yeah, 11.
is it 11?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's type it in. Let's check. Let's check, guys. 44
2.
divided by 22.
2.
It's 2, guys.
My bad.
That's okay. That's okay. I know this one's tricky. I was actually thinking 11 also. I was like, yeah, 11. That makes sense. But if you think about it, if I do 22 times 2 or 22 plus 22, it's going to give me 44. So our answer is 2.
Now does it go 2 equals n or n equals 2?
It doesn't matter which order it's in. I'm fine with either. Okay. Anybody still need this?
No.
I wrote it down.
Okay. Let's do a couple more examples. We're going to do 2 more together, and then I want you guys to try. So now we're going to go back to some of the simple things that we did before whenever we had like terms that we were trying to combine. If it helps you to, I don't know, color code or something, do that. If it helps to draw lines, do that. Maybe I need to see that 3n and 7n go together. And maybe I need to see that 5 and 1 go together. If that helps, do it. If that helps, do it. Or if you need to circle them or bubble them. So let's go ahead and look at number 3. I have 3n plus 5 equals 1 plus 7n. Minus 3n? Sure, let's do that. Minus 3n on both sides. Okay. What happens to my 3n's? They cancel. And then I'm going to start bringing things down. I still have 5 equals 1 plus, what is 7 minus 3? 4n. All right. Now I just have to move something else over.
1 minus.
Yeah, you're right, Lewis. So we have a plus 1 here, and to get rid of it, we want to do minus 1.
So 4 equals.
Yeah, 5 minus 1 is
right?
4. Absolutely. 4 equals 4n.
And divide.
Then divide. Divided by 4. Yep. And that is going to be 1 equals n. Good job, guys. All right. Before we do number 4, does anybody have questions?
I've been confused from the beginning.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's break it down real slow. Let's break it down real slow. So, Rhonda, at what point do you get totally lost? Is it just the first step here? Like, why are we subtracting 3n?
I see that, but I'm trying to figure out. I think it's lining it up. Because it's sort of like what you just told us.
Yeah, it's kind of like the polynomials, isn't it?
Well, like that, and then the multiples.
The multiples.
The multiple equations.
Oh, the multi-step.
Multi-step.
Yes, it's very similar to that. And this is kind of a multi-step equation. It's just it's a multi-step equation where we have variables on both sides. So, let's walk through each step, and I want you to be vocal with me. Shout at me when you are lost, and I want to get you to where you're not lost.
Okay.
So how about we just start with number 4. We'll start with something fresh. So everybody else, I know that y'all get it. Let's make sure that everyone gets it first, though. So Rhonda, when I'm looking at number 4, what in your brain would you think is the first step here? When I see
the 5n and the 8n together.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. So how would I do that?
Because I know that there's 5 times n.
Uh-huh.
And there's 8 times n.
Yes. So let's try to think of this.
Or I could do either side.
Absolutely.
I think that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could do minus 5n over there and minus 5n under your 8n. Or
But I could do
you could do
8n.
minus 8n. Absolutely.
Okay, I think that's what's getting me. Because I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out why is it that we're just doing like the 3? Why not
Yeah.
7?
So the reason that I think we had decided to do the 3 is because when I do 7 minus 3, I'll get a positive 4. And positive numbers are just nice to work with. But if I did 3 minus 7, I'll get a negative 4. And those aren't so pretty to work with. It'll still work, but at the end, I'm going to get negative 4 over negative 4, and I'll have to know that that becomes positive 1 because my negatives will cancel.
Okay.
How about we try this one the other way? You want to subtract 8 in this time and just see what happens?
No, it makes sense to put the 5 under the
Okay.
the 8.
Okay, well good. Let's do it that way then. So let's subtract 5n. Now before I go any further even from here, are you uncomfortable at all with subtracting 5n?
No.
Okay, good, good. So we'll do that to both sides. And you feel good about writing it under the 8 as well?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so now I want you to tell me, what's my next step in this process? I just subtracted 5n from both sides.
We're gonna cancel out the 5s.
Good. Yep, we're going to cancel out our 5n's. And then what?
Break off and add subtract the 8 from the 5.
Yeah, so 8 minus 5 is what?
2,
Almost
3.
3. Good.
Almost 2.
And what else do I need to write next to the 3?
Minus? No, n.
N. Yes, we cannot lose our variables. All right, now I did that. So what is left in this step?
To bring the plus 9
Uh-huh.
equals 3.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring down 9 equals 3 plus 3n. Okay, so now we're here at this step. I've got 9 equals 3 plus 3n. So now that we're here, I want to know what your thoughts are telling you, Rhonda. What are you thinking at this point now?
We're gonna subtract 3.
Yes, exactly. That's perfect. If we bring 3 over here, now I've got my n by itself. So let's do that. Minus 3 on both sides. Okay. What happens with my 3's?
3's are canceled out.
They cancel. Perfect. Now, what's 9 minus 3?
5.
Almost.
6.
6. Good. That's all right. Okay, so now I have 6. And what else do I need to do?
Bring the 3 down.
Yes. Equals 3 times n. Now that I only have n's on this side, I don't have any pluses, any minuses, I don't have another n over here. This is the only point where I can finally get rid of the 3. I cannot take n and separate it from what it's attached to until everything around it is gone. So what would I do here now?
Divide.
Divide. Good. And what am I dividing by?
3.
3. Perfect. Okay, my 3's are going to cancel, and that's going to leave me with n. N equals, what is 6 divided by 3?
2.
2. Good. And that's your answer? You got it, girl. We just got to slow it down and do it step by step. Now, how do you feel about that after kind of breaking it down? Do you think it would be helpful to do another together before we try on our own?
Okay.
You think you got it? Okay. All right, guys. That's good. I have 2 problems for you, and I would like you to do them on your own. I'm going to set a timer and pause the video, and when the timer goes off, we will talk about our answers. Okay, for number 1, what answers did you guys get? 1?
I got 1 in.
1 in.
I'm sorry.
Oh, 1 equals.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about the equal sign.
Uh-oh, that's it. All right. How'd you guys do it? What'd you do first?
I did, take
Minus
those
10.
Minus 10? Did everybody do minus 10? Okay, let's do that. Minus 10n. Minus 10n. And we're going to draw a nice little line. What happens to these?
Cancel out.
They're gone. Don't worry about them anymore. What is 12n minus
2n.
10n? 2n. And we got to bring everything else down. I'm not adding anything to 7 anymore, so I don't need that plus sign either. I'm just going to write 7 equals 5 plus 2n. Okay, so now we're here. What should we do next?
I subtract 5.
Yes, that's right. Get rid of the 5. We want to bring it over there so we can get the n by itself. So we're going to do that to both sides. My 5's will cancel. And what is 7 minus 5? 2 equals 2 times n. What's my last step? You got it, girl. We're going to divide by 2.
I did that.
Good.
Just forgot to bring the equals.
Uh-huh, my 2's cancel. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is equal to n.
Yeah.
You guys all got it. Good, good. Okay, are we ready for number 2? What'd you guys get for that? Did you finish it?
2 equals n.
Okay.
Yes.
You got that too?
I forgot to bring the equals.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, remember, did everybody get -2? Okay, let's try it. What'd you do first?
I subtract 12
I subtract
on both
12.
sides.
Yeah, let's get rid of 12 in here. And let's do it over here as
I
well.
was getting ready to second guess myself too with this.
You did it. Okay, now what?
You're gonna bring everything else down.
Yeah, let's bring it all down. I've got -9 still. Equals -1 plus, yeah, 4n. Now what?
Subtract 1.
So I've got a -1 here.
I added 1.
Add 1 to get rid of it. Did you do subtract 1 there?
I still got 2.
So what did you write under your 9? -9?
-1.
Okay, and then,
2 negatives that you the positive.
yeah. So remember, now
She still
what
got-
happened is you made 2 perfect mistakes that canceled each other out because you thought of -9 minus 1 making -8. Now, -9 minus 1 is actually -10. But here's what we're doing here. If you add a negative number, to get rid of it, we got to add a positive number. So this -1, to get rid of it, we add 1. Does that make sense, this part? Okay. So now we got to do that to both sides. Okay. My -1 and my +1 cancel. Now I have -9 plus 1. And that's going to give us -8.
Calculator.
Okay.
Now, Rhonda, are you uncomfortable with -9 plus 1 making -8? We can talk about it. I'm okay with that. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. I see you giggling. Okay, so here's my number line. It's not a very good number line, but okay, I've got 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Oh my Lord. I gotta make some more points. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, -8.
Okay.
When I add, what direction do I go? To the right or to the left?
To the right.
To the right. So when I have -8 and I add 1, I end up here. And remember, our negatives go the opposite direction of our positives. So this is -1, -2, -3, oh, hang on. That's what, guys, forget that. Forget that.
-9.
Let's do this. I'm confusing me and you. My bad. Okay. Here's our number line. Here's -9. Okay, and we'll say that this is 0. Give us some room. From 0 to -9, we have -8. -7, -6, -5, -4, 3, 2, 1, okay? Still not pretty, but you get the idea.
Yes.
So if I have -9 and I add 1, I move this way and I end up at -8.
I got it.
So it's just those negative rules that we got to remember. And if you don't remember them, rely on your calculator. Rely on your calculator. Double check every little thing you do just to make sure. Just to make sure. -9 plus 1 gives us -8. All right. So
And
now,
but I still wrote -8 on my paper.
I know you did, because I'll tell you what, you did -9 minus 1, and you thought, oh, 9 minus 1, that's 8.
Yeah.
And it's
that's
negative.
what I did.
Yep. So you got a little lucky on this one. You got a little lucky here. Because you did still get the right answer. Just in your own little way. And that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so now we have -8 here. Let's get rid of all this mess. Okay. Here's our equation, guys. Don't get rid of all that. Okay. What's left to bring down?
Equal and the 4n.
equals 4n. So we have negative 8 equals 4 times n. And then,
Divide 4.
yep, divide by 4 on both sides. And you're going to get n equals negative 2.
Yep.
So everybody got that?
Yep.
Everybody got that?
We did.
Good.
But I don't know how I get it.
You got it just because of... okay, here, let's talk about another thing. Whoop.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's
You're good.
okay.
You're good.
Let me give you something.
I gotta understand
If I have, like in this problem, we had, it was negative 9 equals negative 1 plus 4n. We had to add 1 to get rid of this negative 1, right? We ended up doing plus 1 on both sides. We just need to remember that anytime we see, like, don't even pay attention to that plus. You're always looking at whatever is to the left of the number. Just like when we would do our bubbles, when we were combining like terms and stuff, we would bubble the sign beside it. So if I see a minus 1, to get rid of it, I need to do the opposite and do plus 1. Like if I had minus 3 plus 5n, it don't even matter what this number is, I'll put 10. What would I do to get rid of minus 3?
it.
I would plus 3 here. I would add 3 to both sides, okay? So even though there's a plus here, that plus goes with the 5n. That negative goes with the 3. Just like the plus goes with the 4n, and that negative goes with the 1. We want to get rid of whatever sign is beside it over here. So even if it helps, maybe at each step we could do like, sometimes parentheses are nice. I've got negative 9, and then I've got a negative 1 plus 4n. That way we would know, okay, if I want to get rid of this negative, I gotta add to cancel it. Okay? Is that making any kind of sense back there? Okay, good. Good, good, good. So if you add a negative to get rid of it, you gotta add a positive. Okay. Okay. Are we all right?
So that negative 9 plus 1
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be a negative 8.
Yes, exactly. Because whenever we are working with negatives, they behave in the opposite way that a positive number would. So if I had 9 plus 1, I'd get 10. But if I have negative 9 plus 1, I'm actually going to do the opposite thing, and I'm going to get negative 8.
You always think of it like your bank account.
Yeah, think of it like your bank account. I've got negative $9 in my bank, and I decide to put $1 in. Now I got negative 8 left.
Last week I looked at my account, I said it was negative in the checking and negative in the savings.
Uh-oh. Woo!
We got it together.
There we go. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay. All right. You guys want your exit ticket?
Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. It's what I'm here for. And I hope I'm not making it worse. I'm not trying to confuse you.
No, you make it easy.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I appreciate it. Good. Okay, guys, this is your exit ticket. Just one question today. And don't get too overwhelmed with these variables on both sides. Remember, on your quiz tomorrow, they're bonus questions.
Tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, sorry. Tuesday. I keep saying that. Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I didn't get my
Uh-huh.
exit
Not coming
ticket
Monday?
back from Tuesday.
Let me look.
Because I
What's
wasn't
Monday?
here yesterday.
What's Monday? We're going to do the practice quiz together.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which, remember, our practice quiz is literally a carbon copy of the quiz.
Yeah,
It's just going to
yeah.
be different numbers.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
y'all will be
different
ready.
letters.
You guys will be so ready. All right, I'm going to end this recording.